Hello and welcome back to the Little Drops of Wonderful channel, where I talk about all things crafty, crochet-y and knitty. That doesn't really work, does it? But crafting, crochet and knitting. And this is going to be a little week-long vlog of making. I did it at the end of last year. It was really fun, sort of just a vlog about what I'm making throughout the week, how I'm fitting it in and what's sort of going on. I've been editing my podcast, episode 108, which is the December wrap-up, and it's currently uploading. And I said in that video, which you will have already seen before this, that if my yarn arrived for the Sun Gold blanket, which is the new pattern by Attic24, which is out on Friday, the 5th of January. So by the time you're watching this, it will already be out and it's free on her blog. And I am going to be making that as my entry into the Cozy Winter Blanket mail. The Cozy Winter Blanket along. The Cozy Winter Blanket along. Why can I never get my own hashtags right? I'll put it on the screen so you know you've got it right from somewhere. And it's a make-along that I run with my lovely friend Cherie over at the Ollie and Bella podcast. I will link her underneath so you can go and check her out. And I said I was waiting for my yarn to arrive, and if it arrived, I would film an overlay. Well, it arrived, but it arrived about an hour ago and it's dark, so I can't really film it. So I thought, well, I'll just film about that and start my vlog now. Start it a bit earlier than I intended. So here it is. Huge parcel from Wool Warehouse. I am making this blanket for my daughter Lilia, my eldest daughter Lilia. I'm going to go and show her the colours in a minute actually. She picked them on the website. She wanted a real earthy toned blanket. The Sun Gold blanket has a total of 15 different colours in it, but I have got 3 of each of 5 colours. So I'll wait and have a look at the pattern and how it works and work out how I'm going to distribute them. Is that right? Yeah, so I'll get one of each out to show you. They're all Style Craft Special DK. I wanted to get a nice acrylic yarn because Lilia is going away to university in September. Can't believe it. And this is going to be for her to take away with her to university. So it has to be something that can be just shoved in the wash and, you know, somewhat abused. So these are the 5 colours she has chosen. I'll try and hold them all up together. And here we go. Doesn't that look lovely? Isn't she a good picker of colours? Obviously, I will show you again throughout the week in better light. Oh, they look so lovely. Oh, she's done such a good job picking. Really lovely. So I'll tell you what the colours are. This one is shade 1029 Copper. I'll come a bit closer because it will focus better. So this is shade 1029 Copper. This is shade 1027 Khaki. This, if I can get it to focus, is shade 1054 Walnut. This is shade 1806 Gingerbread. And finally, we've got shade 1067 Grape. Oh, really lovely choices. I'm going to go and show these to her now. I've got a gigantic bag. I did tick the no bag thing, but it's probably a good thing that they did send one. So yeah, I'm starting off my crafting vlog with, I've got terrible hair because it is absolutely hammering it down outside. It is so wet out there. I had to go and drop Phoebe at football, my youngest daughter at football. And then I had to stop at the shops to grab something on my way back and I got a bit soggy. Hopefully it'll be a bit drier tomorrow for when I have to drive to work. Okay, I've started the vlog. I'm going to leave it here and I will see you again probably tomorrow night when I will hopefully be with the pattern and thinking about hook sizes. Oh, ow. Hello, it's Friday. I've just come in here to update you because I've got something to show you to do with my making week. And I realised that when I was filming my introduction yesterday, I can't remember if I actually mentioned that I'd positioned myself in front of the boxes in order to demonstrate that we've got all the boxes in our bedroom to put away in the loft. It's all the Christmas tree decorations, or not the Christmas tree decorations, all of the Christmas decorations. So if I didn't say that, that's why there's a huge stack of boxes in our bedroom. Still there. I've got to sort some stuff out before it can all go away. Anyway, I've just got home from work, so I thought I'd film before I put my pyjamas on and take all my makeup off. I printed this off today, so it's brilliant. I went onto the Attic 24 blog. It's all there. There's a really detailed beginners picture by picture pattern, so you can follow it through and you can do it if you're a beginner, or you can print off the pattern as a PDF. You can download the pattern as a PDF and print it off. And I've got to now decide how I'm going to be doing my colours. I think I might just alternate. I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing to do, so I'll just do 2 rows of each of the 6 colours and then start again. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to find a hook. She's put 4mm. Now, in the past when I've made her blankets, when I say her, I mean Lucy at Attic 24, I have used a 4mm hook, but I know now a lot more about my tension, so I think I'm going to use probably a 3.5 or a 3.75mm hook, because I do crochet and knit quite loosely. I don't think I'm going to do a swatch. I don't think I can be bothered for a blanket. Alright, I think I'm going to start tonight. I've just got to work out the order of my colours. Good morning. Oh, cat behind me. It is Saturday and it's about 8:45 in the morning. I'm just getting my phone and I'm off to take Phoebe to get her hair cut. I've got so much to do today. I've got to get my show notes done for the podcast that's due up tomorrow. I've got to do my thumbnail. I've got to do a couple of bits of filming for my other channel, This Little Wonderful Life. I have got to do some more work on my crochet blanket. I've got a ton of stuff on the table here to sort out, and I've got to make a plan of action. And I'm wearing my Moonlight shawl by Sandra Port of Cherry Heart. I will link the pattern underneath. The yarn is by Betsy Mate. She doesn't dye anymore, but this was called Hot Pink Hot Pants, and it is the most gorgeous yarn base. So soft, I love it. Right, I'm gonna stop yabbering, we have to go. It's, what's the time, Dan?
5 to 11.
It's 5 to 11, which means I haven't continued with the vlog at all today, and I've just been sitting here crocheting on my sun gold blanket when I realised I hadn't said anything. I spent the whole day filming some content for my other channel, and also I did a really long walk of just under 7.5 miles. We've been running around after the kids. But here is where I am. I'll show you this properly tomorrow in the daylight, with the first 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I can count, rows of the sun gold blanket. Oh, doesn't it look good? So I'll show you again properly tomorrow, and sorry for being a rubbish vlogger, but I'll keep going until I've got a decent weekly vlog together for you. But right now we are absolutely absorbed in the final episode of Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, which we have just, we've been captivated by it. And we also watched the first 2 episodes of The Traitors, and I had to say that the knitting and crochet representation on the UK new season of The Traitors has been off the charts. Very much approve of the crochet jumper, the crochet cardigan, and Sonia and her knitting with an eye mask on in bed. If you haven't watched it, you won't know what I'm on about, but it's there and I'm very happy about it. Hello, we have skipped forward a lot in time. I have been a terrible vlogger. Well, no, I've not been a terrible vlogger. I've just had such a manic week being back at work. It's been so busy, and Lilia has started to get her offers through for auditions at universities, and we've been trying to, you know, make that work, and it's just been really frantic. So I haven't been able to pick up the camera. It is now the following Thursday. So I figured I'll just pick up and keep going, because that's a true representation of how sometimes it goes. Sometimes I get lots of making done and lots of time to do it. Sometimes I get a medium amount done and a medium amount of time to do it. And sometimes I get nothing done. However, I did do the first 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rows of my sun gold blanket. I nearly forgot the name then. And this is how it's looking. And I've got proper daylight now. So this is, I took a little while working out what order to put the colours in, and this is what I settled on. So there's 2 rows each of the 5 colours. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I'm so happy with the colours she's chosen. Now what Lucy at Attic 24 is doing for this pattern is every Friday she's releasing a different way, the next kind of colour order, because in the way she does it, she uses 15 colours, but they don't just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 15 and then start again. She mixes up the colours so it kind of forms a kind of pleasing mix. Now she's got 15 colours and I've got 5. So it's going to work quite differently, but I'm going to wait and see tomorrow what she says about mixing the colours and see if I can somehow make that work for this by mixing them up rather than just doing them 5 colours, 5 colours, 5 colours. I don't know if I'm going to do that and mix them or just keep going in order, in order, in order. I think either way will look lovely. But I'm going to wait and see what she comes up with tomorrow. I've really enjoyed working on this. There's nothing like a good old DK blanket. And there's nothing like a bit of acrylic yarn every now and then either. It's soft, it's easy to work with. I feel less pressure about it because I feel I can't, you know, if I mess it up, it's easy to rip back. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And it's just so soft and so easy on the skin. And she's going to be able to look after it really easily when she takes it away with her. So I haven't been able to work on that since I completed the first 5 rows. So what I did was I picked up my chunky jumper that I've been working on. It's another crochet one that I've spoken about on the last couple of podcasts, and it is the, I can never get the words right for this, it's by AC Crochets, and I think it's called the the Easy and Fast Chunky Crochet Sweater. I can't remember. I'll link it underneath because it's a really sweet pattern. But I'd got to the stage yesterday, hang on, let me grab it. Oh, so I'd got to the stage yesterday where I've made my 2 panels, which look like this, with lots of ends that need weaving in. And what I've been doing is I've been holding James C. Brett Flutterby Chunky along with 2 strands of DK cotton, alternating between brown and blue as I've gone. And I really like how that looks, but I got to the stage where I'd done the 2 panels for the top, and then I crocheted together to make the shoulders, and then I very lightly just sewed them sides together to get an idea of the fit, and I hated it. I'm so annoyed. I think it's because it's so heavy. I mean, this feels like upholstery fabric, where I've combined the chunky chenille type yarn along with 3 strands ultimately of cotton as well. It's just made a really thick, non-drapey, heavy fabric, and it's just not a pleasant thing to wear. Also at my hips, it sat tight on my hips, and the idea of making this was it was going to be a nice big sloppy slouchy comfy jumper, and that is just not what it is. So I'm going to I know what I'm going to do with what I've done so far, but I'm not going to say any more on it because otherwise there'll be no surprises in the next podcast at the beginning of February. So I am working on a bit of an alteration for what I've made already. Whether or not it will work remains to be seen, but I'm hoping to find out this before the next podcast. So that left me with a bit of a gap because I can't start working more on the blanket until I know how I'm mixing the colours. And progress has halted on my chunky jumper, which is not going to be a jumper anymore. So I thought, right, I'm going to start working through some of my sock projects that I started before Christmas and then fell by the wayside for all my gorgeous Advent projects. So I have picked up again my bamboo cotton socks. I spoke about this on my last podcast. The colours are so lovely. I love the way those lovely stripes, they're so spring-like. And then the yarn is, I think I would know this having just spoken about it at the weekend, but no. It is King Cole Summer, and the blend is, oh, and the colour is Onyx, colour 4567, and it is a blend of 55% bamboo, 37% cotton and 8% PBT. And what I showed you in the last podcast episode 108, my December wrap up, was that I'd done the heel, but then I'd made a mistake and I picked up the heel stitches and then I'd gone back, and then the fabric of the edge had really stretched and I couldn't work out how to rectify that, and I decided to just rip back. I'd only just picked up the heel stitches and everything and started working in the round, so I hadn't done any gusset decreases really. So it was easy to rip back and start again. And what I'm now doing is I'm doing the heel from Nancy at Knit Sip Happy's Swiss Dot Shorty Socks pattern. That felt like a really hard sentence to say, but I got through it. And it's a slip stitch heel with 3 garter stitches at each side. It looks really pretty when it's done, and I'm hoping that might solve that issue. So that's what I'm doing now. So I just did that this morning. I ripped back and then picked up again, and now I'm like 4 rows into the heel. So that's going to be my thing to concentrate on whenever I can pick up crafting today, which could be now, because I find myself for the next hour with not a lot to do, because I need to do some sorting out in the loft, but I can't do that until my eldest daughter has gone to college, because I need to be in her room to access the small loft space that we have. And I've got to take my car to the garage to have its number plates replaced. That was something that came up in my most recent MOT. But I can't do any of that for about an hour. So I was going to sit and knit, and then I thought, no, I'm going to read, because the book I'm reading I've had for 30 years. I made a little vlog about a book update on my other channel on This Little Wonderful Life. And I mentioned that I'd had this book for 30 years, maybe more than 30 years. And it's come with me every time I've moved, but I've never actually read it. So I thought, I've had it in my life for all these years. I need to have the story as part of me as well. It can't just be the cover and the book and the familiarity of it. I need to have the story. Unfortunately, I'm finding the story quite hard going. This was published in 1985, I think. So as such, you know, it's dated a bit in terms of how, like, the kind of books that I would read now. Obviously, my tastes are very different. This is pure fantasy. It's so hard to follow. There are so many characters. There are so many weird accents, written accents, which I find really annoying. I can tell it's a really good fantasy story, but I am struggling with it, and I am in certain places skim reading it. There's this frog in here that has an accent that's written, and I can't understand it. It's too much work to try and decipher what this frog is saying, so I just skip those bits. Hopefully he's not saying anything important. I realise I'm talking about a talking frog. So I'm 120 pages in, and I think there are about 460 pages. So I'm going to sit down until I need to leave and make a dent in this. Oh, I might look a little bit pink in the face because I've been for a 3.5 mile walk. I am doing the Walk 1,000 Miles challenge this year. It's an average of 2.74 miles a day. And I did less than that yesterday, and I missed the day before because I had pain in my foot, and I just thought it was a good idea to rest it. So I've been making up miles, but it is very cold. So I'm going to light the fire. I have all day been up in the loft space, reordering, clearing out. I am so dusty. I've got scratches on my arms, bruises on my knees from crawling around in ridiculous spaces, but it is done. And it means the Christmas decorations are away, which means we've regained our bedroom and we've got some space. So all I need to do now is run the hoover round, make a warm drink, and then Phoebe will be home from school with probably a gaggle of friends in tow. And I'm going to sit and drink my tea, watch a bit of YouTube, and do a bit of crafting. I'm either going to continue with my modification of my chunky jumper, which is no longer a jumper, or I'm going to continue with my socks. I'll decide after I've hoovered. I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm too excited by it, so I'm going to show you anyway. And just don't tell anyone, okay? So if you're seeing this now, you're seeing this. You have to act surprised when I show you on my podcast. You probably guessed, but I've turned it into a cushion. So I had a cushion pad, strangely enough. I think it's 45 by 45 centimetres. And I just took my two panels, ripped them back a bit to make them into a square, sewed up three sides and then put the cushion in, and then ripped back a bit more to make sure it was nice and snug around the cushion. Turned it back the right way out, shoved the cushion in, finished the sewing here, and then tied it in a bow and shoved it inside. And this little button is to indicate where that bow is. So I can dig out the bow, undo it, and just rip back slightly if I ever need to wash it or wash the cushion. And also I would say that as I was doing it, I cut my thumb, you won't be able to see, but I cut my thumb on the needle as I was sewing the button on, and I got some blood on it just here, but you cannot see it at all because it came straight out. So this chenille stuff is very good at repelling blood. Slightly terrifying thing to say, but you never know when it's useful to have a blood repelling cushion. I am so chuffed with this, and it's so cosy, and it's perfect. Perfect fabric. The fabric of the crochet, I mean, is perfect for a cushion. I might pop this up on my bed to lean up against when I'm reading. It's Friday. Ooh, bad lighting. And I've literally just walked in the door from work. Let me put this down. And I was taking off all my warm things. I'm going to put some back on because I suddenly realised that I wanted to show you these. I've been wearing these all the last couple of weeks when it's been really cold, and I love them so much. I made them years ago. These are the striped mittens according to Badagak, which I've done as fingerless mittens, and it's made with 4 different colours of tuku wool, and they've just worn so beautifully. The colours are so lovely and they're so warm, and it's a really lovely pattern as well, and it's making me question why I've not made any more. I need more of these. So a really nice texture to it, really simple. That's Dan, you can hear.
Sorry.
I'm on my way in, he's on his way out. He's got a meeting with other football coaches.
No, just the committee tonight.
Just the committee. So yeah, anyway, I'm home. I'm going to unpack everything, put the shopping away that I picked up on the way home, put my pyjamas on nice and early, cook dinner for Lilia and I, and then work out what I'm going to work on tonight. Hello, it is Saturday. Let me just take these out of my ears. I am just sitting down. It is 2:45. I've been running around all day, ferrying kids here, there and everywhere. Got Lilia to work, well Dan got Lilia to work. I got Phoebe from a sleepover, dropped her off at a party, did some shopping. And I've been doing a load of stuff, sorting out the stuff here behind me, ready to go for donations to the school, old school uniform. Stuff to go in my mum's loft, and also there's some stuff in that box there that you can just see. I will gesture with my lapsang souchong, which I'm very much looking forward to drinking. It smells gorgeous. That's all stuff for Vinted, which I don't often do because selling stuff online stresses me out, but as in secondhand stuff online. I like doing my Etsy shop, which reminds me I should probably open that. I will do that before I release this video, and I will put a link to it underneath. I meant to do that like in the first week of January, and it's now like the 13th. Oops, a bit late. Never mind. Yeah, stuff for Vinted. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Anyway, I've got about half an hour now before I have to go and pick Phoebe up and then start on dinner and so on. So I'm treating myself to a podcast, and I'm knitting on my cotton bamboo socks. I finally solved my heel problem that I've been having, and I've redone the heel and done all the picked up the stitches, and now I'm doing the gusset decreases. So I'm very happy, and I'm going to do that for half an hour and drink my tea, and I'll catch up with you later. Hello, it is, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock and I've been out, picked up Phoebe. I've completed the gusset decreases on my first cotton bamboo sock, and I think I have already started the second sock. So I think now I've completed the decreases, I'm going to pick up the second sock, which is at this stage, I haven't even finished the ribbing, and work it up to finishing the gusset decreases as well. This is so cute, this little stitch marker, look at that. Oh, stop swinging. Little cocktail. It's so cute. Looks rather summery, which it certainly is not. I've just put the fire on, which I'm now blocking. There we go. Blazing away now. It took a while though. I don't know if you spotted just then, but in the intervening time between I last spoke to you and now, I have cut my finger again. And I say again because we really needed new knives, so I bought some and they're really sharp. And apparently I can't be trusted with sharp knives. So I cut my finger, this finger, opening the packet. Then I cut my finger, the same finger, again, the first time I used them. And now I've just been chopping onions and I've cut my finger so badly, I won't go too closely because it is a bit gory, that I've bled through 2 sets of plasters, 2 layers of plasters already. It's just like, I think I should stick to using blunt knives. Or maybe I've just fallen into careless ways. Anyway, I'm gonna have to wait for it to sort of stop bleeding before I can start knitting again. Otherwise it's gonna get onto my yarn. Very annoying. So dinner's on the go, it's bubbling away, so we can all heat it up later. I'm going to go and do my walk because I'm doing Walk 1,000 miles this year. So I'm trying to get out every single day for my mental health because I love walking. And I'm going to have to go out in the evening tonight because I've not had a chance in the day today. But I love going out in the evening because it means I can look in people's windows when they've got their lights on and their curtains open. So I'm going to do that while Dan's here and so's Phoebe, and then come back and have some dinner, and hopefully then you'll see some footage of me working on either my socks or another little project I've got on the go, or my second advent project. Who knows? I'll see what I'm in the mood for. Probably socks. It's Sunday and I have a visitor. She won't leave me alone this morning. She wants to get upstairs because she likes being in Phoebe's room, but Phoebe's asleep and I want her to have a good lie-in, although I do need to go and wake her up. Also, apologies, my neighbours are being really noisy today. They seem to be, I don't know what they're doing, running around screaming. So if you hear any background noise, that's what it is. Dan's out at football, and I promised you a few seconds ago last night that I would let you see we don't want to see your bum on the camera, do we? We want to see your beautiful face. Hello. I promised you last night that I'd show you whatever I was working on last night, and I did. I got a really good amount done on my first cotton and bamboo sock, but I completely forgot to film any of it because we were watching The Traitors and I was a bit absorbed. So sorry about that, but I then picked up the second sock this morning and completed the rib, and I'm now into the leg, so I'm going to catch that sock up with the first one. I'm also going to show you how my blanket goes today. I'm going to add the next lot of colours to my blanket, well, start to, and then I think we'll end the vlog today. I'm going to finish my tea. I'm having another lapsang souchong, my third and final cup of tea of the day. I'm going to go and wake Phoebe up because she's off to the cinema this afternoon with Dan and some friends. And then I'm going to do a long walk today. I'm hoping to do 6 miles to the supermarket and back. I would normally drive it. Oh, we have a little soppy lie down, are we? Oh, yes. Yeah, so it's about a 3-mile walk to the supermarket. So I'm going to take a rucksack with me. I just want to get a couple of bits for dinner. I'm going to get a chicken and a couple of lemons. I'm going to do a lemon chicken in the air fryer. So if I take a rucksack with me, I can easily carry that. Sorry, frog in my throat. I can easily carry that back. So I want to get going fairly soon, just in case I need to bail halfway so that Dan's still here before they go to the cinema. And then after that's done is when I'm going to sit down and enjoy some crafting time. And some cat time, yeah. If you're new here, we don't have a cat. This is not my cat. This is next door's cat. But she's very old. And they have a dog next door. And she just likes peace and quiet. Lord knows why she comes here, because you don't get much peace and quiet from Phoebe, do you? You get lots of fuss and cuddles. Yeah. Hello, it is Thursday again. So this vlog I've actually filmed over 2 weeks. I was going to film it over the course of a week like I did last time, but the amount of time I've had to get things made or sit down and do any knitting and crochet, and that's been really minimal at this start of the year for some reason. It's just been a busy couple of weeks. So I thought I'd come in and just finish this vlog because I think it's already too long, and just show you where I am with my sun gold blanket. I've been sitting working on it a bit today. I had a bit of time, and here's how it's looking. So I started off, I've got my 5 colours. So I've got my khaki, my gingerbread, my grape, my walnut and my copper. And then what I've done is I've mixed the colours up a bit. So I then missed out the first colour, the khaki, started with the second colour, the gingerbread, then added the khaki, and then started working the colours in order. And I'm going to do that all the way up. As long as there's more than 2 colours in between each repeat of a colour, if that makes sense, then I'm happy. And I think that's looking really good. And then when I've done that, I think I've worked out, I've written it all down, I think I've worked out I can do that 5 or 6 times, and then I'm going to go back and start in that sequence again. So I'm really pleased with it. So pleased with it. Obviously, these are the colours that Lilia has chosen. These are the colours she likes. And I'm just really happy with how they're working together. Now that I've decided I'm happy with my colour sequence, I can now weave in the ends. Now, I happen to love weaving in ends, so I'm going to treat myself to that tonight. I'm going to have a nice, relaxing evening just weaving those in. And that's where we're up to. And I will show you where I'm up to with my cotton and bamboo socks as well before I go. The reason I'm filming this in the kitchen, by the way, is I'm about to start chopping up sweet potato because it's -2 today. It's really cold and I'm going to do some nice warm sweet potato for the chickens. So they've got something warm in their tummies. And it's better light in here. So this is sock number 1. These are going to be very much sisters, but not twins. Yeah, really pleased with it. I did my garter stitch heel and I was really pleased with how it looked. But I was, especially on this side, it's come out really well. I tried to replicate it on the second sock, but I'm not as happy. It's almost like my garter stitch section is much looser. Oh, I had my nails done today as well. I've got different coloured nails. It's a bit better on this side. But yeah, and it might be because I picked up slightly differently for the gusset stitches, just trying to work out my best and favourite way to do it. So I've yet to find my perfect method of doing a heel flap and heel turn and gusset. It is my favourite fit for socks and my favourite way to knit socks, but I've got to find my favourite method of doing this whole area, so that's going to be my mission for this year. But they're both fitting well. I've tried them on as much as I can and they're both now past the gusset decreases and I'm just on the final bit to the toe. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope it's not been too long or too wittery, and I hope it's been fun to join me for a little bit of a week of making, or 2 weeks of making. I will see you again at the beginning of February for the January wrap up, and thank you so much for all your lovely comments on the last podcast. Yeah, it's just really lovely to hear from you. Your comments are always so lovely, so encouraging. You always come up with such good ideas. I've had a lovely time reading them. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you in the comments again. I need to do a live this year. I need to be brave and do a live. I'll have to have a little think about that. Anyway, I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye.